All right, chat. So this was so I took a little bit of time to play a lot of Elden Ring, and I did my first ever Elden Ring challenge, which was a what was it? A level 1 clear. This was my first ever level 1 clear, and I was like really inspired by the challenge community in Elden Ring. And then I saw that a kind of a regular thing that community does and other community does is they do sort of like competitions and bounties, which is, you know, we've done some stuff like that before, but I was really inspired to do one with Destiny. So, you know, if you were part of the Elden Ring ones, you can clearly see where I'm getting a lot of this inspiration from. But I've been wanting to do something with the Destiny community for a while. So yeah, here we are with what I'm just calling solo dungeon trifecta. So essentially, what this is here is not a team competition. I did not want to do anything team related. I want to do solo related. So it's going to be a solo of 3 dungeons, and I decided on picking Prophecy. I decided on picking Pit of Heresy as the 3rd. It's going to be the new dungeon, and then it's going to be Shattered Throne, which I think is like the ultimate dungeon of them all. So it is a $7,500 total prize pool for the competition, and I'm going to be rewarding 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. And I was able to get some sponsor money from G Fuel and MojoDesk. So let's get some big hype for G Fuel and MojoDesk for supporting our competition as well. And then I threw in, I'm throwing in 5,000 of my own money in the competition, just to, in spirit of, you know, spreading some good vibes for some friendly comp. So thanks for G Fuel and MojoDesk for also throwing in some money and supporting. The official Discord, if you are interested in being a strat talker, developer, viewer, and especially if you're going to be a runner, is discord.gg/dungeon comp. So I'll be posting that on Twitter. So let's go over the rules here. So here's the way that this works. A completed run includes, whoops, how do I get up here? A full solo flawless clear of Shattered Throne, Pit of Heresy, and Duality in whichever order you choose. Order does not matter. A death will disqualify the run. So this is a flawless. Can I just do that? There we go. Whoops. So once again, a full solo flawless clear of Shattered Throne, Pit of Heresy, and Duality. A death will disqualify the run. The winners will be the top 3 fastest cumulative times in-game timer. I'll explain what that means. And you must submit your time by July 12th, 2022. So you have exactly 6 weeks, I think, from tomorrow. And that'll be the fastest cumulative time across all 3 dungeons soloed. Here's where it gets interesting. You must use each class at least once. And you can choose whichever class you want to run whichever dungeon. But you do have to use a Warlock, you do have to use a Titan, and you do have to use a Warlock once and only once, considering it's 3 dungeons. In-game timers, this is how it's being timed. This will be our final time for the event, and this is what the verifiers, having some help, will do to verify the runs, and you will time this yourself. This prevents hardware advantages, you know, load time discrepancies across console or PC or different PCs. It doesn't really matter. And API times will not be used or recognized in any way. So you can't run, and then you cannot just go in and look at your API time on Raid Report or Dungeon Report or whatever. Live split is going to be required to be shown on screen. It's really easy to set up. I set this up years ago and I had no idea what I was doing on PC. We do, all of this is in Discord. So you'll be able to, if you go to the Discord, there's like a little live split tutorial YouTube video. But you can just look up a video yourself. For each dungeon, the way that it will begin is you'll load in, you'll land, and you'll wait. You know, no more than a couple seconds, really. And as soon as you move your character forward, as soon as you take control of your character, the timer starts. And as soon as the first banner appears on your screen with mission complete after the boss dies. That's when the timer ends and you pause it. So the way that's going to work is you're going to load into the first dungeon, okay, on your first character. You wait. As soon as you move your character, hit the timer. As soon as you kill the boss and the mission complete pops up, you pause the timer. And this will be reviewed like frame by frame when we actually go through. Like if there's 2 runs that are really close, we'll review this. You pause it. Then you change characters, you load to the next dungeon, you wait. As soon as you move your character, you resume the timer. So the timer is like one big timer for all 3 dungeons. Do not do 3 separate runs and submit 3 separate runs and say, hey, these are my fastest runs. Here's my time of all 3. It will not count. You will not win. It has to be back to back to back flawless runs, all done in one sitting with one continuous timer paused in between switching characters and loading in. That is very important. Do not just speed run and work on your best time for each dungeon. It has to be all 3 back to back to back in one sitting. Okay? So yeah, so I explained all that. You're allowed a very short break if you have to use the bathroom in between one of the dungeons. That's fine, but I do not want long breaks just to keep things moving. People can maybe do fishy stuff, switch somebody. I don't know. I just want it. The point of the no break thing or very short break if you have to use the bathroom is I want this done all in one sitting very quickly. That's the point. The point is to get this run knocked down to a very quick time to create a lot of competition and a lot of urgency within the run. Now, this might be a little controversial. And I'm sorry about this, but we have talked and we decided that this is the best way that we're going to approach this. I am going to require that everything be streamed on Twitch or YouTube or whatever streaming service that you use. Why? Because we don't want people... we want this to be as even playing ground as possible for competitive PvE Destiny players and for everybody that wants to compete. And what we don't want is somebody doing something that we don't know what they're doing and then holding on to the run all the way until the very end of the competition and then releasing the run at the very end of the competition and smoking everybody because they were hiding something or holding on to something. We want everything to be out there to be discussed, strats to be discussed, everything to be shared. We want the competition to be at the forefront of everybody's availability and exposure at all times throughout the entire competition, no matter what. So if somebody comes up with a new strat, if new things are found, if a certain character is found to be better for a specific dungeon, we want everybody to know, and we want the whole ball game to change. We want everything to sort of develop as the 6 weeks progress through, and we are going to stand by this. So you must do some sort of I'm not saying you gotta be a fucking professional streamer or anything like that. You can stream from consoles. You can set something up on your computer. It doesn't even have to be the best quality. You can stream in 720p. It doesn't matter. We are gonna require streaming of the runs, and it's also going to be a lot better entertainment for everybody that's watching. Okay, so if you have any questions on this, we have discussion channels in the Discord. If you look at the Discord, there's all sorts of shit in there that lays a lot of this information out. You must join the official Discord if you want to compete. If you do want to compete, you have to navigate. There's a role assignment channel, and you have to react with an emote. 1, to ensure that you're not a bot. 2, to let us know, who's a viewer, who's a competitor, etc., etc., etc. Completed runs must be submitted via the submissions form in the submissions channel. Navigate to the submissions channel in the Discord, and you'll see a Google Forms. Thank you, Rowan, for setting that up. There's no limit to the number of submissions that you can submit. You just want to make sure that they are unique runs. Don't submit the same run multiple times. Just if you get a new time, submit your new run in the form, fill it out. It's pretty easy to understand. When you complete a run, and we will be paying attention to this, Once again, this is so people don't like hold on to runs and then release them last minute. We want this to be like a fair play all the way to the very last second. If you complete a run, you must submit that run within 48 hours of the completed run, or your run will be invalid. So you must submit the run within 48 hours of completing the run, or your run will be invalid. All right, now here's a couple limitations I'm putting in. I'm not banning a lot of stuff. I'm really not limiting too much, but there are a couple things that I have personally decided to ban. One are oobs. So if you're not familiar with what an oob is an out of bounds area, meaning you are leaving the playing area, you are breaching through walls, you are abusing turning backs, anything like that. You cannot use oobs in this competition. You must remain in the playable area at all times. Now, you are allowed to use shortcuts and skips. You know, if there's an encounter that you can just, you know, sword fly across, for example, that's fine. I don't care about any of that, but you cannot oob out of areas and completely skip encounters. You must remain in the playable area and complete all of the encounters. If you have any questions about a route, or if you're unsure whether or not an area would be flagged, you can simply ask in the Discord and we will talk about it and verify whether or not it is going to be relevant for the run. And if you have any more questions on it, please do talk in the Discord channel. But the idea here is to get a whole group of, you know, some of the best players in the world, and let's see what you can do. This is a 6-week competition. Everything must be submitted by July 12th. So I hope everybody grinds down this time as much as possible. There's channels in the Discord for each individual dungeon to discuss strategies, to discuss, you know, what classes are going to be the best. You know, it's supposed to be a community thing. It's supposed to be, yes, you're competing against your fellow peers, but you're also working together to get this time down as low as possible. So, you know, if you're competing, I expect people to, you know, be in other people's streams that are competing and try to get them to work on strategies together. Essentially come together as a community and, you know, knock down this type of run and get it as low as possible, because I think it'd be really fun. So, you know, I want some really good sportsmanship and competition out of this. And whoever wins is going to get $4,000. It's going to be straight cash, so you do with it what you want. Whoever gets second place is going to get $2,500. And whoever gets third place is going to get $1,000. So that's how we decided to space it out. 4,000, 2,500, 1,000. So yeah, I mean, I encourage you to try and push yourself. You have a lot of time. I mean, 6 weeks is a lot of time to learn how to run the newest dungeon. The other ones have been out for a while, so if you've grinded any dungeons, you already have a general idea. I do encourage you also to put your YouTube or your Twitch streams in the live stream Discord channel. We have one for live stream, so if you're going live and you're about to start doing runs, please post in there. Say, hey, I'm doing runs today, or post and say, hey, I'm going to be working on, you know, this dungeon, because that's what we want. We want people to gravitate towards people's channels, and we want to see how people are doing things, and we want to get everybody sort of talking. So go ahead over there and check it out. P breaks loud. Yeah. Yeah, I decided not to do prophecy because the RNG in the cube room. I decided not to do grasp because of the RNG with the servitors. So I decided that pit would probably be like the most fair as far as the speedrun goes. Okay, that's a good point. Live split. Okay, so if you're streaming on console, I guess you wouldn't be able to do live split. So how would we deal with that? I guess we would do, we'll be fine. No grasp, because of the servitor encounter. Yep. Okay, yeah, we should, Live splitter is required to show on screen. What do you think we should do? The people that have been helping me out. If you're streaming directly from the console, you can't have a timer up on screen. And one of the big things I wanted with this is I wanted everybody to be able to compete. We'll be fine without it. Okay. So let's put that in the rules list. Live split is required to be shown on screen for PC players. If streaming from console and or unable to put the timer on screen, you are excluded, and verification of the run can be done without it. Something like that, right? But PC, dude, it's easy. Live split is literally so easy to set up. There's a bunch of YouTube videos. Console players are all unallowed. Yeah, well, that's the thing is what we'll do is we'll take, you know, out of all the times that are submitted, we're gonna look at the top 3, verify those, and if anything's iffy, then we move down the line. You know what I mean? Are all artifact mods allowed? Anything in the game is allowed. No out of bounds. So if they're here's the, and you know, here's another point. So all encounters must be completed. Yeah, I want to say yeah. Did I include that anywhere? Yeah, let's add that too. Right underneath of the oob, put a separate thing and say all encounters must be completed. Which is pretty much what's going to happen anyway without oobs. I can't think of anything in Shattered or Pit where you would actually skip an encounter, so I don't even think that's possible. Eager launching a teammate is allowed. It's a solo challenge, my dude. I decided not to do a team-based one. Yep. I might do another team-based one later, but yeah, let's add all encounters must be completed, aka no encounter can be skipped or breached. So like for Shattered Throne, Vorgith will have to be done. You will have to do Vorgith. You cannot just skip it. Yeah, you can add a timer later. So there are some restrictions here, but honestly, not that many. I don't think it's going to change things too much. And it'll be exciting to see how people actually, you know, decide how they're going to handle every single encounter. Heat rises to use shortcuts and jumping puzzles is fine. Jumping puzzles technically aren't even encounters. Now, you can't out of bounds. So if you're going to a jumping puzzle, you can't just out of bounds breach through a wall, run through fucking what looks like completely unfinished, uncoded areas, and then pop out in the boss room. You can't do that. You have to make your way through the playable area of the jumping puzzle, but you for sure can activate Heat Rises and fly through that thing. Sure, why not? I have no issues with any of that. Can I join Redeem if I win? So that's it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be tweeting about this as well, and hopefully, I think everything in the Discord got. Let me check the rules. Yeah, we should actually. Let's add another rule that says absolutely no use of any third-party programs, net limiting, etc. Anything like that will be an automatic removal from the Discord, removal from the competition, disqualification. Definitely.